Hello, hello, and good evening and happy holiday season to everyone. I am Josie Harris, luxury spa curator. I'm a licensed massage therapist, lymphedema therapist, skincare and specialist, and just an all around the way wellness junkie, right? So I'm so excited to have you guys here to our third Pause and Glow special. This is an open chat, a safe space, and a forum for all things womandom, right? I'm going to make up some words. So this evening, we actually have some super, super delightful guests to introduce to you guys. So I'm excited to just come in. This is an information share. So you guys know, again, this is a safe space amongst and just first and foremost, this is a space where if you have questions, things you always wanted to know, things you are curious about, put it in the chat. You can put your camera on if you love us to see your glowing face. If you do not, that is fine as well. We will meet everyone where they are. Right. So we have some talented sisters on this evening from the middle of the US on over to the East Coast. So I want to bring on some of our guests and introduce the ladies and open up this chat so we can learn and glow together. So I'm super, super excited. So first we have Dr. Ezzy. So, and you know what? I forget what city you were in. Please remind us, honey. What city are you in Texas? I always forget. And make sure you unmute your mic. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Hi. Good
Hello.
evening, ladies. I'm Dr. Ezzy and her go-to, or Dr. Ezewine and her go-to, but to shorten, most people say Dr. Ezzy. I am actually in Katy, Texas, which is outside of Houston.
Perfect. Okay. Katie outside of Houston. I had you in Dallas. Look, don't trust me. But I wanted to introduce you to the clan and just a little bit of a backstory. Dr. Ezzy and her sisters, I always refer to them as the sisters. She's from the Washington, D.C. area, just like me. And I love her family. It's like, it's ridiculous. Just all of the sisters, just so much talent and from, law to the art industry to medical, just all things lovely. I love her and her family. And for her to actually dive into the world of wellness this way was so aligned, with us being friends and just around each other for like decades now. It's crazy. But she is in Katy, Texas. And I wanted her to tell her a little bit about Royal Health Healing and the health center. And yeah, just introduce yourself. And if there's anything that you wanted to share, let us know.
Okay, all right. So I am Dr. on her go-to. Once again, Dr. Ezzy is probably the best way to call me. I started my practice about 10 years ago in Katy, Texas. I'm originally from Nigeria, born and raised in Washington, D.C., but I did start my medical practice in 2025. I came out here, I'm sorry, 2015. I came out here mainly because, okay, there we go. I came out here mainly because Houston is a very diverse area that needs naturopathic medicine. And I just wanted to show the world overall what it takes to have a healthy internal being without medications. Now, I'm not against medications. My practice is mainly focused on natural healing. My goal is always to try to get people off of medication. So I do see a variety of cases from the topics today, menopause, so hormonal imbalances, GI issues, autoimmune, cancer, thyroid. I see a variety of cases because my goal and my specialty is to get to the root to why you're having the type of elements that you're dealing with. And by doing so, it takes time to investigate inside of your body. You have to know and understand what's going on. So I do a lot of specialty labs. I'm doing a lot of supplementation, detoxing, and cleansing overall in the body, especially when it comes to hormones. So I'm here and glad to answer any questions that you guys may have. A lot of times women do not understand if their body is changing, especially women after postpartum, having babies, just overall aging. You have no idea what's going on. And the average patient that comes to me tells me that I ask my doctor to check my hormones and they say no and why, which is absolutely ludicrous to me. So I'm here to answer any questions you all may have and Thank you very much, Josie, for putting this together because women definitely need this.
Yes, thank you for being here. And one of the key factors that makes Dr. Ezzy so special and unique is her naturopathic, just the whole methodology of that. And to her point, we're going to talk a little bit more about this later in the chat, but thinking about diagnostics. So I'm going to plant that seed. And then we'll introduce our next brilliant guest, Dr. Angelia. She is by way of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So if you can tell the ladies a little bit about yourself, madam.
Hi, thank you for joining. Thank you for listening and trusting us to give you the best information there is out there on prevention, disease prevention. I'm Dr. Angelia Honora. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm from Columbia, Mississippi. Um, I have been in the medical field for a number of years, finished nurse practitioner school in 2012, and I actually started my clinic up in 2019. I'm a family nurse practitioner for a company called Our Lady of the Lake here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But I currently own my own wellness, aesthetics and wellness practice as well, where I do practice prevention disease through hormones. Just like Dr. Ezzy was speaking, it is now one of the passions of mine to introduce people to the things that we were born with, and we should be replacing those things as well. And I'm currently Air Force, Air National Guard, soon to be Lieutenant Colonel, promote in January. And I have 3 kids. I'm married, and that's pretty much my life.
Amen. Amen. And then we also have another amazing practitioner. So we're covering all the bases. We have our naturopath people, we have our general health and aesthetic people. And now we also are going to introduce Miss Terraine. She's by way of Hartford, Connecticut.
Hello and welcome everyone. It is truly a pleasure to be here tonight to talk about this issue that we all will face one day soon. But my name is Terraine Jamison. Again, I'm from Hartford and I own a mental health and wellness practice. It's a family-owned business, and we came about this business because we started off as martial artists. We are all martial artists and we found that our clients were coming to us with a lot of issues that needed to be addressed. So we combined the mental health along with the martial arts. And then we've added other resources like red light therapy, body sculpting, and many more holistic practices. And so glad to be here and thank you.
Amen. So today's conversation is going to actually kind of dive right into everything in terms of the onset of menopause. So as a woman of a certain age now, we're just going to lean into it and own it. It's very interesting that no one thinks they're going to get old. And a lot of us don't realize that we are aging. I mean, you're aging from the day that you're born, number one, but we don't understand what the life cycle of aging as a woman actually looks like. Right. So I see some young women in their late 20s, early 30s, and I can see the signs of menopause happening in their bodies and things like that. And not even that they're at menopause yet, but you can see the transition with the skin, the different symptoms that they're describing. And we need to understand the life cycle of ovulation, the life cycle of womandom, as I've cloned it. To understand where we are on that and what we should do. And to the point of that diagnostic point of it, what is going on within our bodies? What can we do? What solutions do we have? What alternatives do we have? How can we just show up to be the best version of ourselves, each and every single time is the goal. And also, I'm so sorry, Miss Shonda. I almost missed Miss Shonda. She is actually one of our Bella Babes. And so for those of you guys who don't know, many of the ladies on the panel are a part of our Black Bella Academy. So we actually have spas that are around the country. We actually learn and grow together. We do coaching, development, training, learn different modalities, and just have experiential learning together as a lady group of bosses, right? And Miss Shonda, she actually owns a magnesium float spa and location. Miss Shonda, you want to say, oh, there she is. Hi. So can you introduce yourself as well, please, madam?
Hello. My name is Shonda O'Neill. I own Total Bliss Massage and Float Therapy in Kansas.
Sorry, you mute. Pardon me, trying to bring you a slide. Sorry.
That's okay. I own Total Bliss Massage and Float Therapy in Kansas City, and we specialize in massage therapy and float therapy. And we've just added red light therapy and body sculpting to our core services. So we're really excited to get that started.
Yes, I'm so excited. And we need to talk too about your construction. Miss Shonda's actually expanding and she's so humble. These women don't even tell you guys all of the magic that they're about. I'm serious. Everybody's just like, yeah, I just do this thing. Where's your other home and everything? Kenya?
It's in Ghana.
In Ghana.
I have a home in Ghana. Yes.
Amazing custom built property in Ghana. Just these women are doing the thing and doing it with grace. Okay. So when I say I love, love, love it. So these are some of our spa sisters. And when I look at this panel, all I see is knowledge and solutions. That's the big dividing factor and the thing that's really, really missing from a lot of ladies and young women and, aging women is the information. So we talked a little bit about the onset and moving to the life cycle of your ovulation and what that looks like. I feel like if we understood what that timeline was, we would better manage things, if that makes sense. So when we're born, we have all these juicy little eggs, we're ready to procreate, make all these babies. We do not understand that there is a net loss as we age. Almost every decade, just looking at this little infographic, you can see where that reduces. And one thing that I was just exposed to last week or the week before, I was listening to a professor talk about like her biggest regret and et cetera, is the fact that there is a real life ticking biological clock in our bodies. We make fun of that and some people have, different emotions and things about it, but it is a real life timeline. That is how many of us end up in fertility specialties and things like that, because we kind of, it's the food, it's the environment, it's the lack of different nutrients and being balanced within. There are so many different factors and conditions that can upset this natural balance and push your clock in acceleration mode without you even knowing it. So just kind of putting some numbers to this and a little bit of a time frame, that 30-year-old woman, I used to think that, everything was okay. I mean, it's just having a real life measurable timeline and seeing something in front of you makes me anyway think differently and feel a little bit differently about the progression of aging as a woman. Because had I known, I may have done some things different in terms of little things like moisturizing. And y'all know I didn't start wearing lotion till I was like 35. Like seriously, I know it told me that my skin was going to dry and things like that. So I don't know. But then the next part of it is when you're already in it and the menopause is actually happening at those different stages. So I wanted to talk with Dr. Angelia about this. This is something that we are always conversing about, is what that looks like in a woman and what can you do about it? Like perimenopause is actually happening. The symptoms are actually showing up. Like, tell us a little bit more about what you're seeing and hearing with your clients.
Okay. Yes, so there's several different stages of menopause. Basically, we start at premenopause. This is from age 30 to about 40. And that's where you start feeling some decline or having some decline and not really feeling it, but you have regular cycles, regular menses. At age 40 is where you really start seeing and feeling the decline. At that point, there's symptoms that come about with that as well. It's such as mood changes. We have irregular menses. We have depression, anxiety. All those things start creeping in, and we are not really understanding what's going on with our bodies. We also start having night sweats. I see patients as early as ages 40s having night sweats, and one particular client I have who went into full-blown menopause at 33. But see, most people don't understand that as we age as women, we're here for reproduction, I guess you can say. And because our reproduction age is, from our early 20s to our late 30s, we start losing the hormones slowly but surely. And by the time you're age 50, you've pretty much lost everything, especially your testosterone, which it converts over into estrogen. And we need that estrogen to help us with other things in life. Our I want to say progesterone. That's that's the other thing that we also starts losing. And once you're 50, you're perimenopause and your menopause at 50. Not necessarily gone into full blown menopause, but by the time you're 50, you've depleted a great deal of your hormones. And then, once you've gone 12 months and 12 consecutive months with no period, then we can cause you in the menopausal state, and then, postmenopause from there. And there's all types of symptoms when it come down to being in menopause. And there's also all types of disease processes that it lead to if we allow ourselves to continue without replacing these hormones.
And so understanding the risks are one of the big things that many of us don't understand. I am very, very new in learning having a deficit in those hormones, with just to your point, what you said there is very important, leading to other preventable diseases. So
Right.
tell us a little bit more about that, because it's not just, I thought that menopause was just the weight gain, the night sweats, the achy joints and things like that, but the actual risks in having diseases, things.
Yes.
Go ahead, tell us a little bit more.
So the biggest risk is, I'm going to say, cancer. We talk about, people have been, there's been so many myths about you getting cancer if you're taking the hormones, replacing the hormones, but that's not the case. The case is if your hormones are depleted or you're diminished from these hormones, it puts us at higher risk for cancer. One of the other things that we are seeing that's really growing right now is Alzheimer's disease. And we're at extremely high risk of Alzheimer's disease when we're estrogen deficient and testosterone deficient. And so one of the things I want to say about that is most people think that testosterone is just strictly for men. It's not. It's a people's hormone. Okay. It's for everybody, and we're all born with it. And so men, you see more women ending up with Alzheimer's disease because of the fact that our ovaries are now not, really producing the testosterone and the estrogen like we should. And so the men has testosterone, and they're going to keep converting over into estrogen, whereas our testosterone is depleted, so we don't keep converting over. So you see the high rates of Alzheimer's in women. We talk about heart disease. It is massive when it comes down to heart disease. And low hormone levels. Cancer, as far as stomach cancer, that or GI cancer overall, those are some of the things. And then stroke, last but not least, those are some of the things that ends up low hormones lead us into.
So now I want to jump into diagnostics, because see, this is very important. Like, what if you knew that you had a lower testosterone count or a lower progesterone? I tried to get it out. I can never say that one, count. Or the thing is, the knowledge is the key. If you knew that you had a deficiency, then you could dive into some solutions. So I was exposed to this amazing diagnostic resource by Dr. Ezzy on Sunday. And I don't want to get into it. But Dr. Ezzy, I would love for you to jump in and just share with us a little bit about diagnostics. Like, when someone is, when do you recommend people start to look at their numbers and balance out things? Like, tell me more about diagnostics. What are you seeing? What do you recommend?
Okay, so in my practice, I use a variety of different diagnosis tools. I do have a scan. That's what she's referring to, the quantum bioelectric scan, which allows me to be able to assess through electromagnetic energy your cellular function. So it's amazing because I'm able to see this within minutes. I can see hormone production, I can see micronutrients, So that's a beautiful way to start right away. However, I'm really big into looking inside of specimens in the blood. So I would suggest by age of 30, it's if you have had a child, but 25, every woman should do a micronutrient panel. So once you're done with having, not done, I'm sorry, once you have had your first child, you should do a micronutrient panel. So the micronutrient panel is going to allow you to look at micronutrients that your body needs to produce these hormones that you're most likely going to be depleting as you're getting older. And as humans, we're all naturally, literally losing micronutrients, and that's why we're deteriorating as we're getting older. You know, your skin doesn't look the same. Women complain about their hair is falling out, they're tired, you're fatigued, all these symptoms that start to happen during the term perimenopause is highly linked to you just aging and losing these micronutrients. So in order to correct that issue, you have to know what's wrong. There's several nutrients that we need to make estrogen, to make testosterone, to make progesterone. And without that, you're more than likely going to decline faster. So I would suggest if you have had a child by age 25, you should do a micronutrient panel. By age 30, you should be doing a micronutrient panel and a full hormonal panel. So that way, every year you can start to watch these numbers. You want to look at your FSH and your LH. As those numbers are starting to rise, that's the signs that the ovaries are starting to decline. You know, so these are things that we want to pay close attention to.
So
Um,
tell us a little bit more, Dr. Ezzy, because you know y'all are doctors. You and Angelia, like, yep, girl, the FSH. And I'm
yeah,
like HA,
sorry,
the
it's
Federal
true.
Housing Authority. Like, no, tell
Okay,
us,
let's back up.
just tell us what FSH and LH are.
Sorry.
I'm just curious.
I know
They sound like big ones.
it just flows every time,
Yeah.
like you know what I'm talking about. So FSH is follicle stimulating hormone and LH is luteinizing hormone. These hormones come from your pituitary in your brain. It signals your body to tell the ovaries to produce hormones. So
Okay, got it.
when those signals start to go off, yeah, the
So
ovaries.
it sounds like that's probably when you're in fertility treatment. That's probably what they're pumping people up with. No,
Yeah.
one of them probably.
One of the, yeah, yes,
So
it's a process. It depends, when it comes to infertility, it really depends on what the problem is,
so this is my point. We don't know what we don't know until we're enlightened. And a lot of us, we're not enlightened until we get the bae, we married, money's in the bank now, we got the house we want, the career we need, da 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 da. Now we're like, let's do family planning. And your body's like, girl. So now you're in there reactively instead of proactively. We're getting these levels and these things, and we didn't know that when we were 30 something we could have went and gotten a micronutrient panel. You guys see what I mean? So some of us, like me, that ship has sailed and I'm good over here. But now that I know people who are my junior and I'm looking and they're asking me for information and things like that, I'm telling them, you might want to, I was speaking with a young lady last week, in fact, and it was, she's like in her 30s and she was just feeling like she had all the time in the world. And it was funny that we were having that conversation, funny, ironic, because she mentioned to me when she was when she was 24, she donated eggs to Shady Grove Fertility Clinic, a local fertility clinic here in our area. And she told me she went in there by herself. She did not tell her parents or her sister, no one, as she went. And they extracted these eggs and she was in all this excruciating pain, doubled over. They didn't give her any type of treatment or pain drugs. And then she said they actually kind of like, what do we call that thing? What do we call it when somebody, that term where, y'all know what I'm talking about, where they're like, you something gassing me, you're gaslighting me. So she was being gaslit because she said they were like, you're fine. And she said that her brother-in-law had to literally carry her from space to space in the house. That's how much pain she was in. But she was 24, she was a baby. So she feels like now she's totally afraid of anything fertility rated. But what she told me was they mentioned to her that it's a good thing that you did this now because this would be your last year being able to even donate eggs. And she didn't understand what that meant. Now she's married, career woman, several businesses, all these other things. And I'm like, have you talked to your husband about that? And she was like, no. And then it's like it all started firing in her brain. She was like, at 24, and now I'm about to turn 36. And like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't know. But then the point is, a lot of us end up in these situations now where it's changing the trajectory of our life. And as I said, you're looking at your insurance policy trying to figure out, does your job cover hormone replacement therapy now? Or does your job cover fertility services and things like that? So just having this information and being able to cascade this out to our own tribes and our own nieces and other women that are around us, this stuff is important. You cannot have valuable, viable information and just sit on it. So now that we know, we must, your daughters, your sisters, everyone else, we must kind of enlighten people, because again, the food that we eat, the environment that we're in, it's not optimal. So it's not like, back in the day when you're like, she 50 something and got pregnant. When we 50 something and got pregnant is on the news, they call those Ozempic babies. Right. So we gotta, yeah, that's the thing. When the people take the GLP-1s, their body changes. And I don't know what what happens, Dr. Angelia? You're on mute. Like, well, how's that happening?
So it decreases inflammation. The GLP-1s, it is getting rid of inflammation out the body. So if anything is inflamed, it's just increasing fertility and decreasing the inflammation in the body. So when you're PCOS or insulin resistance, and those are the things that had prevented you from getting pregnant in the beginning. And now you got this medication up in there that's doing some things, and it's working on the receptors. So it's changing lives.
Yes, it truly is. But and then to Dr. Ezzy's point about medication, and just this is the way that America is. We are in an environment where symptoms are treated and not people as a holistic being. So having diagnostic, having effective panels, having someone who is willing to, number one, give them to you, and number two, sit down and go through them with you and coach you on them is so important. And ladies, if there's anyone on the line who needs that type of support, you don't need to be in the person's state to get this type of help. And not every physician, doctor, or practitioner is interested in this. Some people are interested in treating the symptom. You said, ouch, that hurts. They make the pain receptors dull and they send you on back out there. You are talking to these different holistic practitioners with Dr. Angelia and Dr. Ezzy, where they're looking at you as a whole being. Reach out to these ladies if you guys need, so that you can find out what a panel looks like. Can they assist you with, either going somewhere to get the panel or the scans and things, and then helping you interpret them? So you can, in most cases, figure out what you need and then take it to your practitioner and get those panels. Is that true or no? Would they still try to tell you no? What do you guys think?
It depends on your insurance. Insurance will not cover a full hormonal panel. Absolutely not. They'll do the basics, but if you want to do a full hormonal panel, it's usually through urine, and that's the hormonal zoomer, which actually looks at the precursors and any type of additives or preservatives and toxins that can be blocking your hormone production and causing your symptoms. That's not going to be covered by insurance.
Okay, I'm writing all this down too. Pardon me. Pardon. So
I usually have my patients, just to cut costs, I'll tell them the certain ones that they can run with their insurance, and we'll start with that and go from there.
Okay, it makes sense. So in terms of solutions, so now we understand what's going on. We understand why some of these things are triggering responses in our bodies, why we feel the way we feel. We might start to look the way we're looking. And now what do we do about it? Like, tell me some of the solutions that you would recommend, Dr. Ezzy.
First and foremost, you have to detox. I would not treat I don't treat any patient without putting them on a thorough detox, a nutritional detox, giving your body the nutrients that your cells need to function properly. The average nutritional detox program will help to balance out hormones. It will help to increase energy. You will see improvement in your skin. You will see improvement in your bowels. You will see improvement in your anxiety, in your body's ability to focus, because these are all types of things that toxins are clouding your body while your cells can't function properly. So literally just detoxing. And when I say a thorough detox, I mean a 90-day detox, not a 5-day detox, not a 7-day detox. You have to do it takes 80 to 120 days for the human body to produce a new cell. So you have to remember that. So whatever what you're doing leading up to almost 3 months is how your body is going to change effectively. So you're giving your body the nutrients, the proper cells that these pathways need to function properly, and then you see a major difference at that point. But that's the first phase.
Yeah.
And most women feel a difference in their cycles, balanced out, the pain, the cramps. It's a game changer. So that's the first thing I would recommend.
I love that. So someone was asking me about a parasite detox. Like what
Yeah.
is that? I think once your body is going through something for 80 to 120 days, if it's something parasitic in there, it's probably gonna, what would that do it? Like, I don't know. Tell me.
Yeah, so the detox I'm referring to is a parasitic,
Okay.
antimicrobial and antifungal detox. Absolutely. You do want to get those parasites out. We all have them. So you want to get them out.
I think my, look, I
That's
think
why you notice your bowels are better when you're detoxing.
everything's moving and shaking the way it should. Look, I'm gonna ask you something for a friend. So what if your friend was over here doing all of the traditional medications that her doctor gave her when she's on the the antidepressant, the GLP-1s, everything the doctor, every symptom she comes up with, the doctor's like, here's a Band-Aid for it. But she's still like man down code 10. Your friend, we know that she has to wean off of the antidepressants now. And then like what would a process like that look like? Like, what would you see and probably say change before the detox? Or is it stay where you are while you're weaning, detoxing as well? Something like that. Like, what you think?
Yeah, most patients are going to come to you with all of those medications and those type of symptoms. And I do have a background. One of my degrees is in pharmacy, so I very much closely usually wean patients off of the medications depending on the type of medication they're
Yeah.
on. I may replace it with something herbal if possible, and then I start them on the detox. But in most cases, we're going to detox while we're doing the weaning. It's not like you wait to wean off of medications and you detox. No, because you're doing it for such a long period of time, it's effective where you can do both at the same time.
I love that. So in your clinic, I haven't visited yet, and I told you I'm coming, and we're gonna do all things health, wellness, and everything else. And I'm gonna start my detox. My mama on the line too. Mom, we're gonna do the detox. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do our panels and our detox. So they could say those girls. So yeah. So what other solutions do you offer your clients? So they come in, they've got their diagnostics, they're on the detox program, what else do you have that you place as solutions to make people heal better, feel better?
Depending on the symptom, with most women over a certain age, we're doing bioidentical hormones. I do a lot of phytoestrogen and phytoprogesterone. I also do the actual bioidentical hormones as well.
I
So it's
love it, love it, love it. So
a good
you and
option.
Dr. Angelia, I can't believe I was in Dr. Angelia's spa and left empty-handed. That was all I got was a cupcake. That was just crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have gotten my blood work done before I went down there. I am so sorry to myself, but
Yes. Well, I offer several things. First off, Dr. Ezzy, I really, really appreciate you for coming on here speaking because a lot of the things we do similarly. And I do offer pellets, the bioidentical hormones, mostly for women I do both. I do men and women, but when it come down to the shots and all of that, I do the creams, the pellets, I do the patches, whatever it takes. We also offer peptides. We First thing we do the consultation and get your diagnostics and all of that stuff together, and then we offer those particular modalities. But the biggest thing about these hormones, the bioidentical, is which I really, really love. These particular hormones give you a steady flow of your hormone levels. And that's why it's my most favorite. The pellets is my most favorite because it gives you that steady flow. And then after that, I offer you the whichever you choose. Pretty much the insurance does not cover these medications. There's a few of them that you may be able to get through the insurance, but your best bet is to go through, the compound pharmacies and getting, the best quality of them in the bioidentical. And I do micronized progesterone. that one is one of the ones that the insurance will cover, but most of them, they do not cover. And I don't lead anybody straight, have them coming in thinking that the insurance is going to cover this, because most of them won't.
Yeah. So, and this is one of the things that I'm interested in here in Black Bella, just being more informed. I'm working on a partnership with a nurse practitioner and a local surgeon to see if we can't do a diagnostic lab as well as offer some of the HRT solutions, because,
Right.
it's so interesting. Everyone's like, are you going to offer Botox and fillers? Don't nobody need that. What I need is to not have a tire around my waist and feel like I have a man on my back when I wake up every day. That's what I need. What I need is to not have plaques growing on my brain. So I'm trying to figure out, the rest of my aging life and things like that. So that is amazing. So on my part of it, and then Ms. Shonda's part of it, we're on the non-invasive wellness space. So we're seeing people who are sometimes not understanding what's going on with their bodies or why. They're coming in for the focal fat reduction. They're coming in for cellulite. They're coming in for all those nasty little indicators of the diseases living inside of their body or the imbalances that are inside of their body. So I think having those diagnostics placed so people will understand where those deficits are, like we said earlier, is the most information that we can, the most and the best and the most valuable information that we can offer people. Because I will give you cellulite treatments all day. I'll put you in red light. I'll scrub you. I have your skin glowing and give you all these things to, like we said, patch it up. But we need to start understanding what is the cause, the root to cause of it, so that we can fix it. And then we can actually feel the way we look in some cases. Because sometimes I will tell you guys, we don't look how we feel. You know, when people say you don't look like what you've been through, a lot of us do not look how we feel, and we need those things to match. We need the glow and the luminosity and the healthy, vibrant glow to come from our core all the way out. So the other thing that I know about this situation is the brain impact. It's from the foggy brain, the frustration. I read a statistic a few weeks ago where it said over 70% of divorces are attributed to menopause. That blew my mind. I wish I had one of those sound effects to say boom, like a bomb, because that blew my mind. That's insane. And it reminds me like of when I separated in my 17-year relationship. Granted, it wasn't what it was supposed to be, but something about that pause got that relationship together. So we had talked with Terraine about this a little bit on another episode, but the impact of this journey, post menopause, on mental health. Like, what have you seen in your space of mental health and wellness, Terraine?
I've seen a lot of women come in and just don't know what's going on. They feel like, am I going crazy? Is a lot of the questions that they ask. And it's more so of me telling them, no, you're not going crazy. Something is happening to you. Something is happening to your body. You're changing. And sorry, my son doesn't know that we are on this. But your mind is changing because your body's changing, and the forgetfulness, the fogginess, also just not only are your mood is changing, but because the way you're seeing yourself, you just start to develop symptoms of depression. You're gaining weight. You don't look like yourself. You don't feel like yourself. I'm seeing women with a lot of anxiety just because they don't know what's going on with them, and they don't know the questions to ask. They don't know who to ask. So I'm glad that we're having this session, because today I'm learning some things about menopause that I can give to my clients, because I was aware of how our bodies and mind change, but I didn't realize that it can cause other illnesses like stroke, like heart attack. So not heart attack, but stroke. And this is so good to be here to have this conversation. And I think by us knowing, that can help with the mental health, because when you know something, it can kind of helps with decreasing that anxiety level and decrease that depression, because now you know that, okay, there's a solution to this.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The solutions are endless. Once we find out what is wrong, and then the solutions that we have, there's so many different ways that we can approach it. But the first thing to me is the diagnostic part, because my friend, let's say that person, she just tries stuff. So she got some wild yam natural, and she's not sweating it as bad at night anymore. But how does she know that that's the deficit, right? So we need to get those diagnostics in our hand. But when I tell you guys over the years and just feeling this change and seeing this change, it's incredible when you're in like high stress situations and you're trying to recall information, things that and all. This stuff is very, very real and stressful. And I'm like, this is not right. This doesn't make any sense. And then that's how you end up on antidepressants, not because you're depressed, but just because your brain function and the medical doctors really don't have any other place to put it. So they're like, well, try this. And you know what, guys? That's one big, big, big thing that I want everyone to understand about medicine. It is some proven facts and history but listen to what your doctors are saying to you. This is from your dermatologist to just any doctor that you have. They always say, okay, this is what's going on. Let's try this and see how it works. I feel like every physician that I've had probably close it out with that. Let's try this and see how it works. You are the queen of your body, your castle. It is up to you. You have to be able to advocate and speak to the doctor and say, in a couple of days or whatever is going on, I tried that and this is how I feel. Or I don't know that this is the right thing or working for me. This is a partnership. It's like a tennis match. You have to go back to your medical professional and let them know if the thing that you guys are trying is working, effective, causing adverse effects or anything like that to you. I see too many people who go to someone who tries a solution and the patient knows it's not working. They'll come and complain to me and tell me it's not working, but they'll keep on taking whatever the product is or the drug is, knowing that it's giving them other effects. It's not working. It's not making them happy, but they will not tell the prescribing physician. Have you guys seen but it's something about, I think, the way some of us are just put together or raised or however you want to frame that. But we have to understand that when someone gives you something and tells you to try it as a solution, you have to watch how your body, mind, and spirit is responding to it. And you have to give feedback. They may be able to inform you and say, this is normal, or this is this. Or sometimes they'll say, let's reduce your dose, or let's do this, that, or the other. But you have to, it's not always a binary 1 and 0. I'm going to give you this, and this is going to give us the desired result. We have to understand that. You have to be able to, say something back to your medical professional. And the way things are now with technology, you can probably just get on the app and tell them and get some, feedback and solutions and support like that. Ms. Shonda, I know you're in my space almost, like the non-invasive kind of healing, feel better type of world. But one of the things that I love, love, love about your practice is those darn magnesium floats. All things magnesium. Oh, and guys, I'm going to start distributing. I wish I had one of them over here with me. A magnesium ashwagandha fizzy drink. We're off of champagne spa. Like no more champagne parties. We're only doing magnesium fizzies. We have to find alternatives. You know what I mean? Because at this age, I can have a couple glasses of champagne and I'm feeling it for 2 whole days. This stuff is crazy. So finding alternatives that are fun, that are healthier. Look out for those things. I know mocktails are all the new thing, and I don't really want to be like, oh, I'm drinking a mocktail, but I feel better drinking the ashwagandha or a magnesium or lion's mane, light and bright and 0 calorie fizzy. Tell us about your solution with your magnesium floats, because I feel like my body needs to be infused in there.
Yes. So with the magnesium at the level that we have, you're floating in 1,500 pounds of magnesium sulfate. So magnesium is a natural puller of toxins. So when people float, they're floating in an atmosphere that is void of distractions. So there's no phones, no beeping, no all these notifications we get on our phones. There's no phones allowed. We have therapeutic music playing. The lights are off. The water is at 95 degrees to match your skin temperature. So then when you're floating, after a while, after you get comfortable, you don't feel your body because your skin receptors have shut down because they don't have to monitor your skin temperature. They don't have to regulate it. So the water is the same temperature, the air in that space is the same temperature, and you literally don't feel your body. So what I've noticed with women in particular, it's very challenging for women to do nothing for an hour. People will call and say, so how long is this float? And we'll say it's an hour. They're like, an hour? What am I going to do for an hour? The whole point is to do nothing. Because when are women not doing anything? Even when we're asleep, we're making lists. We're even in the float, you're thinking about, okay, I have to do this afterwards. How long have I been in here? Should I fall asleep? Am I supposed to fall asleep? Am I going to drown? It's only 10 inches of water. So there's all this dialogue that we have naturally. And when you float, it decreases that overstimulation. And all of us are overstimulated, every single one of us. And a lot of our anxiety, depression, and all that comes from overstimulation. We're online all the time. We're trying to keep up with somebody's TikTok and all this stuff. And a lot of times we just need just an hour for ourselves. And as women, it is a challenge to get a woman to stop for 1 hour. It's very difficult. For men, they get in the float tank before you even get out of there. They're butt naked. They're already in. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Let me step out of the room first, shower down. And the women are apprehensive. Okay, what should I do? What do I need? What if I need you? Can I call you? No, don't call me. There is no button that's going to come and save you. If you want to get out, get out. But people like, well, is there an intercom? No. I don't want you bothering me, and I want you to float. And women have a very hard time to just decompress.
Yeah. I'm going to float every day when I come to your spa.
You
You're going to have
will.
to build up to an hour though.
Oh
I feel like
no,
I'm going to fall asleep and roll over on my side like
you
I
can
do.
do it. You can't, if you try to roll over, your body just flips back because it's so dense.
Light. It's so,
It's like floating in the Red Sea, in the Dead Sea.
that's crazy. Just like all that buoyancy. So I love that. So just ladies thinking about, for people who are like, I can't get to my doctor right now, or you're just easing into this and you're literally, because historically health and wellness was always a part of everyone's life and culture. Somehow we got so modernized, we separated from that. And then in the Black American culture, especially, it was like a badge of honor for the woman of color to put herself last.
To suffer.
And we would say things like, but my kid's okay though. Your kids don't want no broke down lady with her hair all thinning and skin all sallow showing up at their school. Like, it's very important. I said, I'm going to do a special that says something for me, something for myself, because we need to actually understand the value of and the importance of us actually taking care of ourselves. It's not that you're putting yourself first. It's literally as if you are taking care of yourself. And I'm just going to let y'all know too, my CPA is on the line, Mary, and she over here texting me talking about, girl, I'm the one told you about ashwagandha. Yes, you did, Mary. Thank you, girl. You hit me to the ashwagandha. You got me together and you got me off the bubbles. So yes, you did, Mary. Thank you, girl. So, and congratulations. She's just newly married. Oh my God, it's so good. But
yes, I did.
Yes. But making sure that we figure out what our wellness and our recovery space looks like is super important. And then we want to layer that with some real measurable progress. Like, what can I do to live and exist in this body a little bit longer and a little bit better quality, right? So I don't care if it's partnering with someone for floats, if you're doing some red light therapy, massage therapy. Sometimes I see people have to dip their toe into it just a little bit. They might start out with the detox tea and then figure out they can, do that and go, but do something, ladies. That's the thing. We can't suffer in silence anymore. We can't just sit and say, you know, is it happening, or this is just what it is, or this is how it is, because we don't have to like just stay there. We have too many resources and too many talented people around that can support you. So if someone wanted to reach one of you guys, we're going to open up the floor for questions. Please, if you guys want to just speak, feel free. Or if you want to put questions in the chat, please do so. But I want to also make sure that Dr. Angelia, Dr. Ezzy, Terraine, Miss Shonda, if you guys can please put your contacts in the chat so people could snatch them if they needed to speak with you guys, or they wanted to learn more about you guys' offering. All of these ladies are all over the country. Oh my goodness. But when we talk about diagnostics, the numbers are numbers. Numbers can be read anywhere, guys. Don't feel like, oh, she's in Texas, I can't get a hold of her. The same way she's on this screen, she can be on the screen on your phone as needed. Do not put friction between you and your life. We're no longer talking about hot flashes. We're talking about your whole entire life. So if you want to be selfish for your family and your children. Someone would hate to find out that you could have prevented just anything, just any of the diseases we talked about, heart disease, stroke. And women, we have the highest rate of stroke when we compare women to men, or when we're talking about the brain plaques with the dementia and all these other things. You know, it's to a point now where the brain fog not even funny to me anymore. I'm tired of going all the way back upstairs. I literally got to go all the way back upstairs to remember why I came downstairs now. It's got to stop. You know, and it begins with the nutrition and the food and everything else. So please, please, ladies, drop your information in the chat. Quentin has her hand up. She wanted to ask something. Was it an accident?
Hi, ladies. So we did have a few questions. So one of the questions is there any supplements or activities that you would recommend for brain fog?
For brain fog.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi. So
I asked
I
that.
would
Sorry. Thank you.
I would recommend getting your labs checked first. That would be the first thing, just to make sure that everything is leveled off or optimized, is what I usually say. Don't let anybody tell you your numbers are normal, because normal is not optimized. So be sure, get your labs checked. Be sure your progesterone is optimized, your estrogen is optimized, and also your testosterone. But that's the number one things that can cause you to have brain fogginess. I also recommend NAD is one of the supplements that I offer to my clients, and making sure that your vitamin D is also optimized. Your levels should be anywhere from 60 to 100 to have optimal levels. These are the things that can cause brain fogginess.
Yes, I second that. She's absolutely right. I also would suggest looking into candida and fungus. A lot of us are having an overgrowth of fungus in our intestines that's been highly linked to brain fog and disrupting your hormones. So that'll be something to look into. So start by eating more fruits and vegetables and reducing the carbs. You don't want to just run into supplements without getting tested.
Also, don't forget the physical. We need to walk. Instead of doing like a lot of high intensity exercises, take a 30-minute walk. I think they recommend 150 hours of physical activity. You can split that up throughout the week. Also, we talk a lot about the red light therapy. That also helps with the focus. It also helps with relaxation. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with hydrogen therapy, but that also helps with focus and helps with on the cellular level. Also, just being mindful that, again, this is natural. These things do happen, and there is a solution, and this is not the end of all. There's a solution for this, and that's going to decrease some of your anxiety. So just accepting and moving through it.
Amen. I love that.
Ladies,
And
I'm sorry, Josie, before you go to another subject, I have my health coach here. He would like to say something in this arena of decreasing brain fog. Is that okay?
I love that.
Okay. This is Peter.
Hello, ladies. Hello.
Hey, Peter. Hi.
Hi. I am into the health, and I listen to podcasts. I listen to functional medicine practitioners. And and I listen to a lot of menopause stories, podcasts about this. Ladies, you do need copper. Copper is one of the main nutrients that tells everything else what to do, okay? You got to have copper because in the early 50s and 60s, they took copper out of everything. The food is just depleted. And you got to have zinc, okay? Because that opens up your blood membrane and allows nutrients to get in, and it keeps other stuff out that doesn't need to be there. All the mushrooms, ashwagandha, like y'all been talking about, turkey tail, all the other ones, they are very health benefit for the ladies and what you need for menopause and everything. Plus, you got to have sleep, like you said, in your gut of the gut biome flora. Don't have enough, that's going to affect your menopause. I'm kind of nervous.
What happened?
Somebody else is on there.
No, good. Those are some great recommendations. And so I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a regular person, right? When I listen to all of the things that you guys are telling me I need, I'm like, well, if I eat all this, I'm not going to need to really eat food. Like, I don't know. I want a solution. I know that Dr. Angelia and Dr. Ezzy both have platforms for supplements that combine some of these things. Help us. Ijama is on there. I think Ijama wants to share something. But so I'm thinking you guys have to share your information, doctors. That's the point of what I'm saying, because I know that you guys have compound solutions that combine a lot of these things for us so that we're not out trying to get 30 supplements and try to figure this out ourselves. That's because I'm telling you, the layman person, when you guys start saying all these things, all we think is, man, I'm gonna have to take 45 vitamins in the morning and 20 before I go to sleep. And I don't
Right.
So what we talked about on Sunday, I know that's not true.
So yeah, definitely what he was saying was absolutely accurate. Sleep, exercise, zinc, copper. I do the GHK copper, BPC 157, all the peptides. And I thought about, we can talk about that on another show, including the peptides, because it's a whole lot. And when you talk about including peptides and hormones, the peptides do work on the gut biome. It completely gets rid of a lot of the inflammation in the body. It helps with hair restoration. It helps with nails, skin. It's so much. It's a whole nother world when you start talking about the peptides. And so that GHK copper is amazing. You just really got to be careful and make sure that you are getting all the patient's history, making sure that they don't have, there's certain things like I don't give to certain patients if they have kidney disease, other little things that you do have to get a history on them before we recommend them taking these things, especially when it come down to copper, because you have to have that. You have to have zinc with that as well. At least once a week, you would pair zinc with it.
So I just want to highlight something super, super important. We cannot self-formulate stuff like my friend I know. So do not be that guy that is saying, oh, I need to add this and I need to add this and just compounding things and mixing your own cocktail, because it could have adverse effects. And I know just as the way that we are, we might have been taking this multivitamin, woman's vitamin for all these years. And we think it's no harm. I'm just going to add this copper. They say that's the one I need to bind everything else. Get your baseline first, guys. That's what the actual analytics and reports are, a baseline. Where am I right now? What's going on right now? So then you can actually figure out how to plug the real holes in what you're doing and make it most effective. And these supplements and things are not the cheapest thing on the market. So you want to make sure that you're being strategic with what you're putting into your body and your system, because again, they have adverse effects. And you want to make sure that, from what I learned on Sunday, and I've heard before, that all of the supplements that you're taking are from a third-party tested lab, because the FDA doesn't regulate many of these. You notice they have that lovely little disclosure at the bottom on supplements where it's like not regulated by the FDA. So just know that, and not that the FDA regulatory thing is a big to do or not.
Right.
A lot of times right now, the FDA is out to get money like everybody else. Just to register a device with them now is almost $20,000. Last year was $7,000. So it's all about, yes, it's about money. They embargo my stuff and shipped it back down to South America. The FDA, everybody is just crazy right now in this country. So knowing where you are, getting a great baseline, having someone that is going to be able to coach you in terms of your metabolic situation and the chemistry that is inside of your body is going to be one of the best things you can do for yourself. So both of the doctors put their information. Dr. Ezzy, you put yours in there? I don't know why.
I did. And
Yeah.
Josie, that is very, very important. And that's why I stand by getting your test done before you go to supplements, because not all supplements are quality and they're not all equal. And you
That's
don't
right.
know, someone may tell you to take zinc, they may tell you to take copper, but how much are you taking? You know, they may tell you to take mushrooms, which is really good, but what if you have an overgrowth of fungus? All you're doing is feeding the mushrooms. So you have to be very careful if you really want optimum health. The first thing is to understand yourself as an individual, and then you base a plan on that.
Amen. 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 I love, love, love that. So I want everyone to leave this space understanding that this is a normal process. I want us to normalize the conversation about it. The word has been taboo for so many years. As soon as you say something about menopause, it's all these jokes and all this. It's not a laughing matter. Like seriously, because now we're talking about life and death death in a lot of cases. It's not just night sweats like I thought it was. So yeah, let's normalize talking about it. You have a place where you can share if you ever want to hop on any of our YouTube channels or send text messages. This is an actual community. No question is a crazy question. The only stupid question is the one you were scared to ask. That question right there, you needed to ask it because somebody else was probably wondering it or can benefit and or learn from it. But take away from this that you have different solutions, even if it's just a matter of you getting some touch therapy somewhere or sound therapy or whatever you're comfortable with, to stick your toe into that pool of wellness and do something for yourself while you're out here holiday shopping and things like that. If you got to get a Groupon, baby, get you a Groupon, but do something for yourself and in the spirit of wholeness, you know, health and wellness. Did you guys want to close out with anything else? Are we good to go? Thank you guys so very much, everyone, for joining us and being on the call. And I wanted to talk more about the supplements that you guys have to offer. What I'm going to do, I want to get both of the doctors' links just because we know that we can start with a detox. And for me, that's going to be how I come off the porch. I'm going to do a detox. I ain't going to go 90. I'm just going to start like a slow, nice detox. And we're going to ease our way into the 90 days. One day at a time. Good
I put my IG on there, but it's Royal Healing ND.
Okay.
I'm always giving natural healing advice. You can always DM me. I love answering questions.
Amen. I'm going to put the ladies' information. Everyone's clinic will be tagged on this on a YouTube post. And I'm going to go ahead and put their supplement platform links on there because they both have very clean, good, and powerful US made supplements that they both offer. And yeah, and then that way we can kind of just, like I said, just start glowing and growing together. This is our third of many Pause and Glow segments. The other two are on YouTube as well. So if you want to check those out, we have a different panel and a different kind of topic on every conversation. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for spending the time with us. Happy holidays, and be kind to yourselves.
Josie, you are such a light. Thank you for always bringing women together. Thank you for always being so empowering.
Thank
This is such a
you.
great segment. I can't wait to see you and connect with you. And ladies, thank you so much. But I did also want to say, my sister, who is a naturopath, has really literally saved my life. I had faced some kidney and some thyroid issues, and my doctor was giving me medicine with so many horrible side effects. And the minute she gave me the natural stuff, within 3 months, everything had cleared up. So there's so much realness, and I'm a testimony to that. And thanks again for everything.
Thank you, beautiful. We must connect. I know when as it comes to town, we already I already told her I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a working dinner. We're gonna chat, we're gonna chew, we're gonna kiki, but we're gonna work too. That's just
yes. You always empower me.
we're gonna get together, y'all, and make some stuff. Oh, wait, don't
Josie,
tomorrow at 12
I wanted
noon.
to
Oh,
The
yeah, I
bank,
was going to
the
ask you.
bank
Okay,
call
go
us
ahead.
tomorrow. Hey, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, thank you for this call. Same thing my sister was saying, but also, is it always menopause? This is a great conversation. I just wanted to thank you for
Oh,
having this platform.
Wellness
oh,
in general.
yeah, women's wellness.
Oh,
We
it's
call it like
wellness.
pause and
Okay.
glow. You know what I mean? Because it's
Okay.
happening. But pause and glow. So wellness, all things health, wellness, beauty.
Good.
Just I don't
Wonderful.
care what
Yeah.
we maybe
Amazing. I
next
love
time
it.
we talk about like aesthetic beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, wait till you all hear what I'm about to do with Dr. O. I'm about to put him on YouTube.
Oh, he needs that. That would be great.
He
I want to be part
he
of
just
that.
texted me this evening. So we're gonna do a segment. I think we
I
should
need to
do a
be part
beauty
of that.
chat because all of us have beauty situations going on too. We doing skin tightening,
Exactly.
red light, da, da, da. So maybe the next time we'll focus on some aesthetic and beauty stuff because it goes hand in hand with everything else. And now the way the fillers and Botox are so off the chain, I want women to know what else is there because what I hate trends in the wellness space because you jump on a trend and then you get lost in it, and then when the trend is off, you don't even know you didn't get the memo. And you're like, damn, I had to put all these syringes and all these PDO, the amount of PDO threads. Oh Lord, that had
Look,
anywho.
Josie, I wanted to say one more thing before we got off, just so everybody know, and I don't know if you guys saw the news a couple of weeks ago, how the FDA came back and retracted what the WIH was saying, the WHI was saying about hormones or whatever. They took the black box warning off. Did y'all see that?
Yes, we talked about
Yeah.
that. Remember, we were on our segment because it popped up
Okay.
and I was saying, what is this? They took the black box. It's but let it be something for men.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you see, patriarchal country and society, let it be Viagra. Look at Viagra. You can get Viagra on daggone insurance. And we sitting here trying to get hormone therapy and it's
Something that's preventable,
a
something
no-go.
that can prevent diseases. Yes.
Actual diseases. Forget just the sweats and stuff. That's the big thing about it. And then nobody really wants to invest in it. So it's really heavy. But
So
tomorrow
you guys invite people.
invite people in, but tomorrow we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
money. Because all of us on here, there's a lot of beauty boss babes on here.
Period.
So Quinn, please drop that registration chat because I've uncovered community banking, you guys, and I didn't call my community bank all the way out. This is something that is across the entire United States of America. There is money in nonprofit banks sitting there, millions and millions of dollars. And literally, we're citizens in these jurisdictions. So it's our money. They're collecting the money from different
Exactly.
casinos and taxes and all these other things. And these are banks that are supposed to be loaning this money out to us, small businesses, low interest. Sometimes you get grants, sometimes you get saving programs matched. And I have been circling around a drain on this for years and not understanding what it is. Like in DC, the savings match is like 4 times the amount you put in. So for example, there's a CDIF that would you put in 1,500, you get out 6,000. Hello?
What?
Hello? Oh, okay. You woke? Okay. Like and in Vegas, they have a 6-time match. Every state has this. You have to Google it and go down the rabbit hole because what I want you guys to remember about this is it's government money. Because I'm sitting here banging my head on the wall, like, why didn't everybody know this money is here? I'm not talking about thousands and hundreds. I'm talking about millions of dollars that we are supposed to be able to access and use to make community impact. When these people are loaning us money, they're not even worried about your credit. They're asking you first for your prospectus. Like, what's the impact you're going to make if we give you this loan? They don't even worry about your credit till you down all the way down. So we need to know about this. So I'm bringing up one of the loan officers going to come here at the spa, and I want people to come on there and ask the questions and things like that. And one of the big questions I need to ask her is, where's the network? Where's the blue book on this or the green book, whatever y'all book color is? Where is the national listing of community banks? Because I know that they're 501c3 banks, y'all. They don't have any checking and savings accounts. All they do is lend. Lines of credits, loans, like I said, grants, program. It's ridiculous. And nobody's really talking about this. But I tell you who does know about it, the owner of this building right here. He and his family, all that money they've been making for 60 years of commercial construction and things. And the way I know is because they had me filling out their impact statement for all the jobs that I was creating, but I didn't understand how to connect the dots. So that's tomorrow. Please register for that call because we need to figure out how do we activate the money that is sitting right in front of us. We out here trying to get money from traditional banks and they're looking at us like you're not good enough. It's community banks sitting right here that can help us and are supposed to help us. It's literally their job. And DC is called Life Assets, and Maryland, it is FSC First. And I'm trying to get money from everybody. So Mary is my forensic accountant and fractional CFO. So she helped me run them numbers, baby, and get that paper to them. So if you need accounting, I don't usually give people my trick, y'all, but Mary is on the line. Mary Roche is her name. She is the rain woman.
Well, I need to talk to Mary.
Yeah, so you gotta talk to Mary.
Josie and I have been through this. We know all the ins and outs of it. We have been through this. So
the stuff that we've been through, guys, how do young girls do it?
Money, I know how to navigate all day long.
Well, Mary, we definitely heard a lot about you, so we definitely need to talk. So
Mary is the plug. If you are someone who is like, I'm trying to start the business and the number's not numbering, when you are transacting and in business, guys, you don't need a tax prep person anymore. If you're really trying to do business, you need an accountant.
It's everything that you said. It's with everything we talked about tonight. You need to go to your professionals, listen to them, and do what they say. Get the diagnostics first. It's the same thing in accounting.
Same thing with your money. Same thing with your money. I got my money. So, yeah. So please, 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 guys, find you professionals for these things, subject matter experts for these things, vet them. Like these ladies come with the receipts. They come with the degrees. They come with the, we're talking about people with decades of agency in the spaces that they're in. And congratulations on your 10-year anniversary too, Dr. Ezzy. So yeah. And Mary, drop your website on the link real quick in case anybody wanted to do a consultation with you. When I tell you guys, I usually charge people to get to marry.
I know.
Like I don't let people get to marry. Like you gotta get your own. So yes, because it's super, super heavy to have someone who can make it. And I don't mean just my personal life. Like because of Mary, I was able to write a check for my last home, y'all. Oh. Okay. So I'm telling you guys.
I mean, Josie and I go back like 10 years.
Yes. And she has really worked on me, helped me. Just, it's just so much in it. It's just like when you have
beautiful
a doctor. This is what I'm talking about. That she the secret weapon.
I love that.
Amazing. Right.
Crazy.
What time is the event tomorrow, Josie?
12 noon EST. 12 noon EST.
EST. So 11 o'clock here. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. All right, ladies. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention and the energy.
Thank you guys for coming.
I'll talk to you guys the next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for the invite.